TCT presents Public Report, a look at the issues and events of importance to our viewing area. Now, here's your host.
Hi, welcome to the program. My guest today is Shirona, who is the CEO of LogPipe. He's also the host of the Monday Morning Jolt. But for this program, he's the curator of TEDx Maumee River. Shirona, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me here.
It's great to have you. And tell us a little bit about you before we get started.
Well, I'm in technology, but I am on the business side of technology. That means I don't design websites, I don't fix computers. I make them better, like that BASF commercial.
Okay.
So my job is to get my customers more customers and make what they have perform better.
Okay, all right. And the Monday Morning Jolt, of course, you work with a lot of different people doing exactly what we do here, talking about people in the community, but it's not a TV show, it's actually an online
It's a web TV show.
Web TV.
So Monday Morning Jolt came about just because of that reason, because I was talking with Chris Fort. She used to be the president of the chamber, and we were talking about like a lot of local businesses. They don't have a presence on the internet. They may have a website, but people cannot relate to them if they don't see like a natural image or something that they can see. So that's why this came about as an experimental project to see how this will come out. And then even if nobody watched it, we didn't care. What we thought was like at least everybody who comes on it, they will have their presentation without it looking like a commercial.
Yes. And how long have you been doing this?
We have been doing this for a little over a year now.
Okay, and every Monday?
Every Monday except...
is another experiment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But typically, I mean, if there's a national holiday like 4th of July or Christmas or something, we won't have anything. But other than that, we'll have a show.
Okay. Well, I know that we're here today to talk about TEDx. So tell us what TEDx is.
TEDx is basically like, TED stands for technology, entertainment, and design. When they started this movement 30-something years ago, to now, a lot of things have changed. Now it's a socially conscious organization. They talk about a wide variety of topics, not just technology, entertainment, and design. So TEDx, what it is like the TED used to be this exclusive show that they had very few of them, and it had an outrageous amount of money that you had to spend to go to one of those things, and very few people got to go. So what they realized was at the local level, there are a lot of speakers that should be on TED, but they did not have a sustainable system to get those people on the TED national platform. So they created this thing called TEDx, which are like branches. They are small, invitee-only events most of the time, where you have like local talent in that area, and then sometimes a national speaker would come and talk just to give a boost. Other than that, it's local people. So then the local people do their presentation, and then we submit the videos to the TED big organization. And then if they like it, they showcase them on the big website. And then your chances of becoming a global or national speaker is very likely if you come on the first page of TED.
Wow. So this is a local program that has the capability of taking a speaker and moving them to a national or international level.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is the TEDx locally going to be held here?
TEDx, the local event, is going to be at the Taylor Chapel, United Methodist Church in the Chapel Ridge area.
Okay.
And I think it's a wonderful location. So that's where it's going to be on.
Okay, and the address of that, it's at 469 exit 25, and it's 10145 Maysville Road, and the zip code is 46835. So we know where it's going to be at, but when is this going to happen?
It's going to happen unless we have a surplus of speakers. Maybe we had to extend it a little bit, because when people speak, it's very hard to monitor how long they would speak, although you give time limits, right?
Okay.
So we're supposed to have this from noon to 5 on a Saturday.
Okay.
On September 17th from noon to 5.
Okay.
So we may spill a little bit, but you know, that's like the time frame.
Okay. Will you be one of the presenters?
No, I'm not, because I'm the curator.
Okay.
So I had to handle the whole show, and because I have a lot of volunteers. I have a lot of people who has dedicated their time, and every once in a while, somebody from Ohio or Fort Wayne or someplace close by would contact me and say, like, can I be a volunteer? So I have been, you know, like, I have received a lot of blessings from people who wants to help.
Okay. And could you use more volunteers? Do you need
Of
more?
course.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, you know, maybe there's something that you hear on this program that sounds interesting to you and you might want to volunteer. Get a hold of Shirona or get a hold of us here at the Public Report at WINM at tct.tv, and we'll put you in touch with Shirona so that you can volunteer. And it sounds like there's lots of different things that they can volunteer for.
Well, what's going to happen is, like, we don't want this event to go on for one day and then die out. We want this to be a continuing tradition. So they have these events called the salon events after the event. Those are the gatherings that you do, so you still keep networking, so you get to have exposure to the speakers. You see them.
Okay.
If you get multiple chances.
Okay.
If you are an invitee, then you go and participate. You may have to buy a ticket, or you might be a sponsor that you get to go. Then you see them on the web.
Okay.
Then you can see them in person.
In person. Okay. So has there been a TEDx event here in Fort Wayne before?
Yes, there was. There was a very successful event in Fort Wayne. It was called TEDx Fort Wayne.
Okay.
And then we are not competing with these guys. They did an excellent presentation. But our theme is a little bit different. And our presenters are a little bit different. So it's just giving a different side of the same thing.
Okay. So just, you know, not necessarily a competition, but actually a completely different event. So the first event was TEDx Fort Wayne. This event is called TEDx Maumee River.
Yes.
Okay. And it's all different speakers.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
We don't have a single speaker that came on the Fort Wayne, TEDx Fort Wayne on this one.
Okay. And that's not allowed?
It's okay to do that.
Okay.
But what I was thinking is, like, why don't I give more exposure to people who more people.
Okay.
So it's a different crowd, and then we want to give them a chance too.
Okay. So what if I just decided, hey, I think I want to be a speaker?
You can do a couple of things. You can contact me.
Okay.
And then I'll do a little interview and find out. And then we have a committee of people who decides if this is a good. So my opinion counts a lot, but it's not the whole. I'm not a dictator, so I listen to people. So that's how we determine. And typically, whoever I have had so far that I thought, like, hey, this person might be a good speaker, my committee has overwhelmingly approved. So the quality of people that are showing up on this event, it's going to be like off the roof.
Okay. All right. Well, and my point is that not everybody can just walk in and speak.
No.
You have to actually go through a process to be invited almost.
Yes. The process involved, like, first we have to see if you meet the TED criteria. There's a certain amount of criteria that TED requires.
Okay.
And those guidelines had to be met.
Okay.
Right? The second thing is that you have to meet our theme, which is future resolved, right?
okay.
So you have to meet that, and there's a certain time limit that you cannot speak for more than 18 minutes, right?
Wow.
So then that comes in, and then I placed in a little disclaimer, which is like, I don't want people who are really speaking and they have made it all around the world. Our objective is to get people who are not doing that
Okay.
to get to that national prominence.
To kind of change the perspective, because if we had a well-known speaker come in, the competition would be a little.
Well, it's not a matter of competition, like they have made it.
Okay.
What we are trying to create is people who have not, who are right there. They should be with those people who
Okay.
have made it,
Okay.
right? So the quality that we have is very high.
Okay.
So it's a small separation. So we want to get the people who are, like for example, I talk a lot, but I'm not a good speaker. I know when somebody I see that, okay, this person is a good speaker. So the people who are going to be on that, it's not that this judge is loud, it's just that they are good.
Okay.
And they are very good.
Okay.
So if they're not very good, they're not going to be on it.
Okay. Very good. And what is your part of this whole process?
My part is like TED has issued me a license to do an event called TEDx Maumee River. So my part is to work with my volunteers, because we cannot absolutely make any profit from this event.
Okay.
My job is to coordinate. That doesn't mean like for example, certain sections, like for example, the website, social media, and stuff like that. There's a lady, she's from Hicksville, Ohio, Amanda. She's in charge of it. So I don't tinker with it. So that's her.
So everybody has
Everybody has their own part.
Okay.
I just have to monitor and see if they are meeting the TED requirements of having the event.
You know, it sounds like this is really well thought out, and they have great guidelines, and I'm really not familiar with it at all. Is that unusual that there's so many of us that aren't even aware of what TEDx is?
That is an issue that we are trying to address, because this TED, I don't know if this is an accurate statement, but somebody told me TED is like probably the 4th or 5th most popular website in the world.
Wow.
Because there are 900 speeches, and people come and watch these speeches every day. Like, for example, me, I go there pretty much like every day and watch a speech and get inspired, right? But it's still an unknown commodity. Nobody knows that this exists, right? And then they are stepping up now, so there'll be like thousands and thousands of speeches now from all around the world together, because it's like, you know, there's a lot of people who can speak. We want to get their voice heard. And there are no restrictions, unless, like, of course, you are talking about some threatening situation. Or,
Yeah, of course.
Other than that, there's no restrictions. You have, if you have thoughts, you can talk about it.